see the definition of the enzymatic assays. So these are laboratory methods. Methods to measure enzymatic activity. So whenever we say that enzymatic activity, we have to say how fast reaction is going. So next we have to say about the concentration of two things. First one will be of substrate and next one will be of react products. So here we can call substrate or reactants and products. So whenever we are saying the enzymatic activity, we have to say about how fast the reaction is going, concentration of substrate and products. And next these methods. So these methods explain disappearance of substrate. Disappearance of substrate over a period of time. So whether it is the disappearance of substrate or it may be the appearance of products. So these enzymatic assays are used to say about the disappearance of the substrate or over a period of time or the appearance of products over a period of time. So next we will see the classification of assays. So here we will be having two classifications. So the first one will be continuous assays. And next one will be discontinuous assays. So in the continuous assay, we will measure concentration of reactants or products. So we may take the disappearance of reactants or appearance of products continuously during the reaction. So whenever the reaction is happening, we will not stop the reaction for the measuring the concentration. Here we will be using some 30 to 60 seconds gap between each time taken, means so to give the data accurately. And next, when it comes to the discontinuous assay, here we will stop the reaction first. So first we will stop the reaction and measure the concentration of products. So when you want to say the difference between continuous assays and discontinuous assays, here the reaction will be stopped for measuring the concentration of the products. But here there is no stoppage of reaction, so that here in the continuous assays we will get the accurate results. But in the case of discontinuous assays, there is a chance for getting error in the values. Next we have said in the definition of the enzymatic assays that these are laboratory methods. So for continuous assays, what are the laboratory methods? So in the continuous assay, the first one we will use is spectrophotometric method. So as we know, in our laboratory we will be using spectrophotometer. So using the spectrophotometer, what we will find? So first we will find the absorbance. So here we will find the absorbance of two compounds. One will search for the products and one will be for the substrate. So it is having high absorbance and it will be having less absorbance compared to substrate. So whenever there is a difference in the absorbance of the substrate and the product, so as the reaction follows, means as the reaction proceeds, proceeds, absorbance decreases. So this decrease in the absorbance denotes that, so it denotes the reaction is in forward direction. So this is how you measure the concentration of the products using the spectrophotometric method. Here, as you know, absorbance is equal to epsilon Cl, where this is from the Beer-Lambert's law. From this formula, we will find the concentration of the products. Next method is of fluorescence method. So as you have seen in the first method, you are finding the absorbance. Now what you are finding here? Fluorescence. So first we will know about what is fluorescence. Fluorescence means light is emitted from the compounds. So this process will be continuous only. But there is a difference between the oxidized form and reduced form of the compound. So whenever your compound is in the reduced form, it will be showing high fluorescence. So whenever your reduced form compound is converted to the oxidized form, then this fluorescence becomes low. So since there is a difference between the fluorescence of the reduced form of the compound and the oxidized form of the compound, so here we will use fluorometer. So using this instrument, we will find the fluorescence of the two components. So if the fluorescence is decreasing, then we will say the reaction is proceeding in the forward direction. And next method will be the electrode method. So as we have seen the pH meter in our laboratory, so it is similar to, we are using that pH meter in this method. So first we have to use pH meter. So and what are the reactions involving in this electrode method is, so if there is an acid forming in the product side, so if your reaction involves the formation of acid, then only you can use this method, because here we will be finding the H plus ion concentration. So based on H plus ion concentration, we will say whether the reaction is happening or not over a period of time. Here pH meter is very sensitive, so it needs to be calibrated. So if other than this, means if the acid is not forming on the product side, then we cannot use the electrode method. So this completes the continuous assays. Next comes the methods used in discontinuous assays. So here we will be using two methods. One is radiometric method. And second one is chromatographic method. So in the first one, radiometric method, so what are the things we will be using are radioactive traces. So these radioactive traces we will use of carbon, sulfur, phosphorus and iodine metals. So these elements, they are traces we will be using for the determination of the concentration of the reaction, means how fast the reaction is happening. So this radioactive tracers finds its applications in determining the mechanism of the reaction. determining the mechanism of the reaction. So in nuclear chemistry, you are familiar with the radioactive traces. So it's an application. So there is no need to explain much of that topic. So next we will move to the chromatographic method. So chromatographic method is very simple. Here we will be filtering out the product obtained each time. So each time what we will do, we will stop the reaction and we will filter out the product. Again we will start the reaction. So here the main drawback of this one is that we cannot get the complete mixture of this one product because we are stopping the reaction and again we are starting the reaction. So this causes some irregularities in the reaction. So it is not a preferred method, this chromatographic method. Mainly radiometric method is used for discontinuous assays. So this completes your enzymatic assays topic.